Welcome to the Talented Learning Technology Demonstration Series, where we travel around the world virtually and get demonstrations of the world's best and most innovative learning technology solutions. Today's no different. We're going to take a look at Course Container, which is a remote content distribution platform, and it's going to be shown to us by their co-founder, Troy Gorostiza. Troy, take it away.
All right, let's go ahead into the backend system. So once you've been signed up and been provisioned with an account, essentially you get access to the backend of Course Container. I'm going to actually impersonate someone just really quick here, just to show you some different metrics. All right. So once you've logged into the system, you're going to see your dashboard. So you're going to see if there's any new unique users within the last 30 days. You're going to see how many total launches of any of the users across the last 30 days. Remember, this is people that are accessing the content in the third-party LMS. So John Lay at Talented Learning has made content available to his customers. So these are the metrics that you're seeing. You see total number of deployments, how many total users, and then any news and announcements that would come from our team. Here you're going to go ahead and see a metric of the pieces of content that actually were launched in those last 30 days. If I jump out and kind of show you a different customer here, you'll see that this can get this pie chart can get quite a bit more convoluted and give you a better idea of the type of piece of content that your people are actually launching. I'll drive down to reports in a moment, but if I go ahead and jump back, because I'm going to show you real time how this data is being captured. Jump back real quick. Okay, so getting back to what I like to do is I'm going to flip back and forth to a couple of screens. So how Course Container works, the first thing you want to do is upload the training content into the actual Course Container system. So here you can come into training content, and here's a list of all the content pieces that you've ever uploaded, the type of content it is, the create date. If you modified that, you can get in right away to launch history analytics. So this is going to go ahead and pull up metrics. So this is a third-party user ID in the third-party LMS. The username that LMS is bringing over to our system. The LMS user ID, the user ID is our ID in the Course Container. Which organization you made this piece of content available for, the name of the content, the version number, when it was started, what domain it was launched from, what browser, and actually what deployment is tied to. So there's a lot of data metrics here, and we've got a lot of different reports because a lot of customers use these for different areas. But this is kind of a quick and dirty way to take a look at launch history on any given piece of content very easily. I'm going to go ahead and click into one and just click edit. You can see here, so when you set up a piece of content, you have the name, you can have an internal course identifier and a SKU, the module type, so whether it is a SCORM piece of content, LTI, PDF, video, whatever it may be, and then the actual content versions. So if you were to want to update another piece of content, a version here, all you simply do is you upload that piece of content here, you have it in as a new version, then you would see a listing of all of your versions. At any time when you're uploading content, you can go ahead and click the preview just to ensure that that piece of content is working once you've uploaded it. Go ahead and close out of that. We also allow, so rather than through the interface, if you have a lot of courses or they're very large files, you can upload via the backend FTP. Course Container gives every administrator their own unique security credentials. So it keeps it very secure, as well as they rotate every 30 days, another way to make things secure. So you can either upload things into the backend, you see all your content, you go ahead and select it. What would happen is on our system, this is going to go ahead and then upload from our server to our content delivery network, propagate throughout those servers throughout the world. Once it's done, you'll be notified, you can preview it. So you upload your piece of content. That's the first thing you do. I'll click add content, but basically you're going to get the same fields that I explained to you earlier. One thing I do want to show here is, so it's for a video. I'll just go ahead and do this as a video file. You'll see here is once I've created a video file, now when I'm building out the record, I can go ahead and say, you know what, I want to disable fast forwarding. I want to mark this as complete. Let's say at the end, I can specify some additional parameters, but that's basically it. So this video is going to also now bookmark for that customer. when it is launched in that third-party LMS, because we're marking completion at the end and we're disabling fast forward. So there's some additional little authoring utilities that are added in the system that make things very easy. So going back, so I've uploaded my one or multiple pieces of content. Then what I do is I go over to the deployment side, and here's an actual deployment. So I have this deployment here, the Click Safety course library. The organization is Get Safety Now, which is this organization. This is the customer that's licensing the content. I have, and these are all the pieces of content that are available to that customer that they can take. So if I was setting up a deployment for the first time, I'm going to do deployment name, put in the organization. These are the list of organizations. I can add a new organization anytime. Organization is very important because it's very easy to slice and dice your reporting and your deployments based on content name, deployment name, and or organization. Because you may have an organization, let's say Talented Learning, and you have 10 different deployments to them for 10 different groups of courses, and you've got different licensing terms. You can do that very easily from an organization standpoint, and then as you create your deployment. So if I go into the usage restriction, this is where I mentioned earlier, this is how you can turn these on or off. So for this deployment, or Get Safety Now, let's say that this is good for 1,000 unique users. And since I have a lot of pieces of content, this is a library, I'm going to give access, let's say, up to 50,000 total course launches across 1,000 users. And it could be good for, let's say, till the end of May. Any of these thresholds are met, the end user in the third-party system is going to get a note that you specify what you want it to say. Something to the effect of is the content is no longer available, contact your LMS administrator, whatever it may be. You can use a combination of any or of all of these. You can say, you know what, I don't care, it's just good through the end of May, or it's good for just 1,000 unique users. So you can do this as you set up your deployment, as well as any time you can update licensing permissions. Go ahead and turn that back off. So if I wanted to add any content to my deployment, since I've added content first, this is how you do that. So if I'd say I want to add 100% fall protection, I'm going to click add, and now this piece of content is available in this deployment for this customer. So what you would do is you go ahead and just download the package. And down that, let's say I'm just going to download it to my desktop. And then what you will see here is this is the course called 100% fall protection. And you'll see there's two files contained within it, an index and a manifest file to meet the SCORM requirements of the launching learning management system. Basically what it's going to do, it's going to launch in the LMS, it's going to redirect, pull everything over from course container, but in the LMS into the end user, it's seamless. They don't know that the content is actually coming from course container. The content has to be authenticated with the LMS. So even if end user gets what that URL is, where the content's coming from, they pass it off to their friend or someone else, they try to launch it, they can't. It's all done secure and authenticated from a launching learning management system. So there's no way to really steal that content as well without launching it through the LMS. So let's go in here. Let's go back real quick to, oops, I closed out the window. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. I'm going to actually delete this one. So very easy to also delete a piece of content from a deployment. But so these are all the different pieces of content that are available to Get Safety Now. So if I go to Get Safety Now, I'm going to go to Get Safety Now as an end learner. So I'm a customer that came in this use case, Get Safety Now sells training online. So they're going to log in as an end learner. They're going to come down and click on training, whatever may be available to them. So let's say I'm going to do electrical safety for construction. That course is expired. So let's go ahead back. Of course, I picked the best one here. Bloodborne pathogens for construction. So this is the end learner. They're going to go ahead and start taking training. So this is a third-party learning management system you have no control of whatsoever. All you've done is license your content to your organization. This is their end user. So they're starting to take that training. And you'll see here, there's reports across the board, but I'm going to go to, now I'm going to jump down to the reports area. I'm going to click on user activity, and I'm going to go ahead and do just a very quick search. You'll see here that this is showing me in the last 30 days, all the reports show at 30-day level. You can adjust them however you want. Across all my organizations, summary report. So these are the different courses that have been taken in the last 30 days. If I want to go ahead and drill in, you'll see here very quickly, I can drill into details and I can see that I know, because I'm the one that's taking this right now, this is the course that I just launched. But if I go down here further into reports, I can drill into, let's say, the access detail report. I'm going to just leave all the filters blank. And I'm going to see right here at 4:27, this is the time on the Pacific time zone. This was Troy launching the course in the third-party LMS. These are the metrics that I get, which is pretty cool. So I get the content type, the version, the start date, where it was launched from, the browser, the deployment name. I can also drill down into a content report. And here I'm going to go ahead and get the status. So if it's passing a score, it's going to go ahead and update. It's going to give me a status, whatever it may be. So there's a lot of different reports that you can actually drill down on. And that will give you the status of how many total launches, how many unique launches, what version, what course, where they're coming from. And then ultimately, to manage your business is you're going to want to go ahead and run typically, like what I'd like to say is, so let's go ahead and let's go to a different site here real quick. Let's go to, let's say, I don't know, let's go with these folks. So I'm going to run a report very quickly here. So this is an active client that has a fair amount of usage. I'm going to report, let's say that your billing terms are quarterly. So you true up, every quarter with an organization. I'm going to say it's for this organization and it's this deployment. And I'm going to go ahead and run a report. All the reports, by the way, within the system, all the filters, the top columns are filterable, as well as everything exports into Excel. So you'd see here that I can see I ran a report from January through March of this year, 2023, for a specific organization, for this deployment that we have a licensing agreement set up. It's going to show me all the content items, the version, how many unique user launches, how many total launches, and the month accessed. So one of the things I like to do is you can export to Excel, and I've done one very quickly here so that we can take a look at it. And you'll see here, so once again, so this one was ran from October through December of last year. Same thing, organization, deployment name, and essentially total. So they have 1,894 unique course accesses across that time period, representing 8,518 total launches. So depending on your licensing agreement with your customer, if it is unique users over a time frame, or if it's total course launches or a specific time frame, or what we also have was what's called as a content enrollment report, and that actually will show you anyone that launched a piece of content unique for the very first time over a given time period. So here would be the start date, the end date. I want to see anyone who launched that piece of content plus this organization just for the first time within that actual start date. So you've got a lot of data metrics that you can slice and dice. So that because a lot of the course container customers license content in different ways. And by these various reports, it gives them the metrics that they need to essentially run their business. So relatively straightforward. A lot of the magic is behind the scenes. We wanted to keep it very, very simple. You upload your content, you build your deployment, you specify licensing parameters or not, you pass the content off to the customer, they load it in the LMS, and you sit back and run reports and look at metrics. And that's basically it. Collect revenue on your training courses that you made available.
Excellent. Great solution. Great solution. Way to go after a need in the marketplace and just create something that can just snap right on to any LMS, any solution, any any extended enterprise, any training company, any association. They all have this exact same challenge each and every time, and just to be able to solve it like this and get the real-time reports like that, instant reports, as it were, is amazing. And just saved from an ROI standpoint. My gosh, anybody that's on the phone right now that is sending out SCORM packages, I mean, the ROI is just absolutely obvious. So, yeah, great job, Troy. Thanks for taking us around and showing us the solution.
No, definitely. And like I said, it's what we love to hear is with our customers is, unique benefits that they're realizing that, we didn't think of up front. And some of those actually is the content, where they have a customer that wants to license 100 courses and they don't have the file size, or they can't get the files, they're too big, or how do we deal with versioning and updates? And, with this, it's all of that's taken care of very easily for them. A lot of folks, had business models where they have had learning management systems, and their clients end up being much bigger. And with so many learning management systems out there today, and so many, even small to medium-sized businesses having their own LMSs, it's changed the business model of a lot of large organizations that have the training content, that they now need to basically make that content available in their customer systems because they have these systems now. And so that's really where we try to solve that need for them with this licensing system.
Yeah, excellent. Well, hey, Troy, thanks for stopping by to the Talent to Learning Executive Briefing and Demonstration Series. This is great. This is exactly why we had this series, and it's exactly why it's my favorite series of content, because you get to see things here that you just can't see anywhere else, and get to learn why the business impact is driving the need for a solution like this, or any solution. And today was no different. So, Troy, thanks for stopping by. Audience, thanks for tuning into another episode, and we'll see you on the next. You can find more of our independent content at talentedlearning.com, and you can check out Course Container, including the pricing, at coursecontainer.com. Have a great day.